All right, let's just dive right into this brutally honest explainer. Today, we're auditing Preserve Gold. We're going to strip away all that slick marketing fluff, bypass the sales pitches entirely, and look straight at their legal fine print. We really want to see what is actually going on behind the scenes of this popular precious metals dealer. If you've been looking into a gold IRA lately to safeguard your future, you've probably asked yourself this one absolutely crucial question. Does a highly rated dealer like Preserve Gold actually offer a safe haven for your retirement? Or are hidden markups and sneaky fine print going to quietly drain your hard-earned savings? It's a huge question, and we are breaking down the absolute facts today. Here's our quick agenda for this deep dive. First, who is Preserve Gold? Second, understanding their fees. Third, reading the fine print. Fourth, real customer feedback. And finally, our verdicts and how to grab a free guide. All right, part one. Who exactly is Preserve Gold? So they're actually a relatively new player in the space, founded right around 2021, 2022, out in Woodland Hills, California by Daniel Boston. Now, he brought years of experience as a former executive at Lear Capital. And they honestly took off fast, quickly snagging an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Today, this family-owned U.S. firm is totally focused on helping folks hedge against economic instability and inflation, using physical precious metals and self-directed IRAs. Now, what is super interesting here is this incredibly low entry point. While some of the older legacy competitors in the space demand up to $50,000 just to get your foot in the door, reviewers point out that Preserve Gold opens its doors to investors with just a $5,000 minimum. That's a real game changer. It makes institutional-grade wealth preservation way more accessible to everyday savers who, just want to dip their toes in. Moving on to Section 2, understanding the fees. The main takeaway here is that their standard IRA fees are very predictable and, honestly, refreshingly straightforward. You're looking at a $50 one-time setup fee, a $100 annual custodial fee, and then somewhere between $100 to $300 annually for secure, segregated storage at top-tier facilities like the Delaware Depository. Plus, a pretty standard $25 wire fee. So, no big surprises when it comes to the administrative side of things. But here's where we really need to look a little closer. Preserve Gold generously offers to waive up to 5 years of these IRA fees depending on your initial investment size, which, hey, sounds fantastic, right? But you've got to weigh that generous waiver against the fact that their actual bullion markups, meaning the premium you pay over the raw, spot price of the metal, well, those aren't transparently listed anywhere on their website. And that brings us to a frankly shocking number buried deep in Section 4 of their shipping and transaction agreement. The contract explicitly spells out that their maximum spread, which is basically their profit margin on what they sell you, can be up to 20% on standard bullion and up to a staggering 39.99% on numismatic or IRA-eligible coins. I mean, wow, that is a massive potential markup built right into the purchase price, and you absolutely need to be aware of it before signing on the dotted line. Okay, Section 3, reading the fine print. Let's look at what customers expect first. Take this glowing Better Business Bureau review from a guy named Scott C. He praises his, quote, knowledgeable specialist who provided sound recommendations based on my goals. Unlike Scott, a ton of customers genuinely love this personalized, hand-holding financial guidance they get over the phone. But here's where expectations collide with legal reality. The contract clearly states in Sections 4 and 7 that their sales reps are not licensed financial advisors. Legally speaking, they are commissioned salespeople, and their compensation is tied directly to the volume and profit margin of what they sell to you. On top of that, any advice they give, it's strictly their opinion, not financial fact. They explicitly state they do not and will not furnish investment, legal, or tax advice. In fact, the fine print goes even further, stating outright that, quote, no fiduciary relationship exists. If you aren't familiar with that term, a fiduciary is someone legally bound to act in your best financial interest. Preserve Gold is telling you right to your face that they are not your fiduciary. So, while the reps are notoriously friendly and helpful, at the end of the day, all investment decisions and the risks that come with them fall squarely on your own independent judgment. We see a very similar story with their buyback program. The marketing proudly claims a zero-fee buyback commitment, which makes it sound incredibly easy to just cash out whenever you want. But the legal reality? Section 5 of the contract states that the law actually prohibits them from guaranteeing a buyback. And if they do decide to buy your metals back, it's going to be at their wholesaler's lower bid price. Basically, the market price of your metal needs to appreciate significantly just for you to break even on that initial 20 to almost 40% spread. All right.
let's move into section 4, real customer feedback. Now, with all that harsh fine print, you might expect bad reviews, right? Surprisingly, no. Despite the stark legal realities we just covered, independent watchdogs and literally hundreds of real customers overwhelmingly rate Preserve Gold almost perfectly. I'm talking a 4.9 out of 5 on Trustpilot, a flawless 5 out of 5 on Consumer Affairs, and a 4.8 on Google. That is a whole lot of very happy investors. So what exactly are people praising so highly? Well, reviewers consistently highlight a complete lack of predatory, high-pressure sales tactics, which, let's be honest, is a massive breath of fresh air in this industry. They absolutely love the patient, educational approach, pointing out that representatives act like high-touch concierge, whether you're investing $5,000 or $500,000. They also give huge props to how seamless and easy they make the often headache-inducing 401k rollover process. However, to be totally objective, there are some recurring complaints you need to know about. Customers are frequently frustrated by the total lack of upfront pricing online. You literally have to get on the phone with a rep just to get a price quote. Some folks also report annoying, unsolicited follow-up calls after showing initial interest. Plus, they have a strict all-sales final policy with 0 refunds unless a shipment is lost. Oh, and if you're looking for modern alternatives like crypto IRAs or exotic metals, you won't find them here. Finally, section 5. Let's get to our verdict and that free guide. So here's the ultimate summary of our audit. The pros are incredibly strong. Low entry minimums, waived administrative IRA fees, and stellar patient concierge service. All of that makes them highly attractive. But those cons require some real vigilance. You absolutely must be comfortable with the lack of digital price transparency and the potential for those very high spreads on certain coins. If you do go with them, always demand to know the exact markup before you buy. Now, if you decide this is the right path for you, the actual process is incredibly simple according to the sources. Step 1, you just call to set up your account with a specialist. Step 2, fund it, either via cash or a tax-free rollover from an existing retirement account. And Step 3, you select and purchase your precious metals, which are then shipped off to a secure depository. And hey, here is a massive incentive to keep in mind if you're on the fence. New clients actually receive 1% in free metals based on their purchase amount. If you qualify, that means you could literally get up to $20,000 in free gold or silver added directly to your portfolio right out of the gate. That is a super compelling bonus. Look, to help you navigate all of this safely and make a truly informed choice, there's a completely free, zero-risk resource available for you right now. The free Precious Metals Investment Guide breaks down exactly how metals historically hedge against inflation, offers awesome tips for choosing the right provider, gives you step-by-step instructions on tax-free rollovers, and shows you how to select the right metals for your specific goals. So I want to leave you with this final thought. Are you ready to take control of your financial future? Will you take that first step to protect your retirement by claiming your free, no-obligation Gold IRA guide? You can find the link right down in the description below. Grab it, educate yourself, and make the absolute best decision for your wealth. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and as always, keep learning.